Okay, so now let's look into briefing cases. All right, briefing cases is something you can add to your toolbox, and it's very useful. All right, generally, whenever you're studying law, yeah, you can read your textbook all day long, but the text is also going to give you a lot of cases to read. All right, this is where the law comes from. This is how I learned the law. I went to law school, and basically all you do for 3 years is read case law. It's great. I highly recommend it. Okay, but whenever you read a case, you want to be able to brief it. Okay, so brief is just like I said, it's a brief summary of what's going on in the particular case. Okay, so what do you need in a brief? The book's going to tell you numerous different things. There's a full brief, a thumbnail brief, and a bridge brief. Let me show you how I do it and why it's useful for me. Okay, first thing you're going to need is the name of the case and the citation. All right. Obviously, you need the name of the case so that, hey, you know what case you're talking about. If I was to write up here Childs v. Childs, you'd say, oh, this must be Mike's divorce. No, because I don't have a divorce. Gosh, you just assume stuff. No, I'm married, see? Okay, listen. The name of the case is the parties, and then the citation is usually something along the lines of this. Okay? 1, 2, 3 is the volume number. Southeastern Second, or whatever it is usually the reporter. And then 4, 5, 6 is the page number. See, what happens is these cases, as they're listened to and heard, they are published. Okay? When they're published, they're put into these reporters. Now, Southeastern Second, that's usually what's in there for Georgia. You can also have, Georgia reporters. You can have Supreme Court reporters. You can have Pacific reporters, all sorts of things. But generally what you're going to see is the volume number, the reporter, and then the page number. And that's how you find cases. Okay? With that, or after that, we go into the procedure. How did we get here? Generally what you're going to find is that these things start off at trial, and then they go on to the Court of Appeals. Generally, we're going to be looking at cases from the Court of Appeals to the Supreme Court. Okay? So the procedure is going to be what happened at trial, how did the trial rule, and then how we got to the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court. And generally what happens is the Court of Appeals affirms or reverses whatever the lower courts did. Okay? So it's very important to know what the procedure was. How did we get where we were going? This will also help you learn this thing called civil procedure, which is the way in which we practice law. What is the process that we go through? Okay? So this is how did we get here? Next is facts. People always ask me, Childs, how many facts do we need? Well, we need enough facts to know what's going on. Okay? Certainly, whenever you read cases, you're going to find, paragraph after paragraph of facts. Right? It's important that you are able to rewrite those facts in such a way that you understand what's going on. So basically, we need enough facts to know what's going on. Okay? What's going on? What's important? Issue. Again, this is the question of law. What is the Court of Appeals trying to decide? Whether. Okay? Whether there was a battery, whether there's a divorce, whether there's murder. Okay? It's the question of law we're trying to answer. Holding. It's the answer to the issue. Yes. No. Was there a battery in this case? Well, yes there was. That's it. That's it. Then we have the rule. Okay? Some briefs don't think it's that important to have the rule of law in there, but hey, that's the most important part. What is the rule of law? And what's great about case law is they'll usually spell out what the rule of law is. Okay? They'll give you the elements of battery, of a contract. You know, what's necessary for a property contract. What's necessary to convict someone of murder. They'll give you the elements in the rule of law. So I think it's very important. Rationale. That's the reasoning. Or why? Why did we hold the way we did? Okay? Now, as you can see, this stuff has a lot of similarity with IRAC. Okay, look. IRAC. It's just called different things. The issue is still whether. Rule of law, application is the rationale, and you could make an argument that the reasoning is application. And then conclusion is the holding, yes or no. So you see it has very similar elements. It's just in this particular case you're not writing the actual IRAC. You are copying what a court did and putting it into a format that is easy for you to use later on. Okay? So briefing cases, I mean, certainly some people don't like it, some people think it's wonderful. I'm one of those that thinks it's great because it gives you an opportunity to read the law and put that law into a format that is easy to use. And you can go back and refer to this. Believe me, I mean, I have pages upon pages upon pages of case briefs. I go back to my notes from time to time, even to this day, and use those case briefs to refresh my recollection so that I can use that information with stuff that I'm working on now.